This video is brought to you by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards. Outdoors Delmarva covers everything outdoors,
including real hunting and fishing situations involving wildlife.
We do our best each and every week to keep it tasteful, but discretion is advised.
Now, enjoy the show.
This is Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards.
This week on the show.
Nice and easy, Charlie. Nice fish.
We went out in search of some flounder, but ended up doing a little sunset casting for some shad.
A double! Oh! Atta girl. Good shot.
Plus, we're keeping score with a group of bow hunters who have gathered to sharpen their skills with a friendly competition. And it's all for a good cause.
If John Smith had my name, I'm sure history books would have been all messed up.
And on this week's Scorchy's Corner Classic, most of us know Scorchy's name by now, but there was a time when he had to answer to just about anything other than Scorchy.
Right now on Outdoors Delmarva.
That's going to taste really nice.
This is Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards. And now, here's Andrew Tawes.
Thanks for watching Outdoors Delmarva. I'm Andrew Tawes, and we'll be checking in with my partner, Captain Willie Dykes, in just a few minutes. Well, we're back out here doing a little inshore fishing off of Ocean City, and what's better than catching up with a couple of young anglers and their dad as they start the day in search of one fish and end it with all the excitement of catching a whole bunch of others.
Got Gavin's lucky hat on today. That's it.
With luck on their side, 11-year-olds Gavin and Charlie set sail in search of flounder aboard the OC Fishing Guide with Captain John Prather and Charlie's dad, Randy.
What do you think, guys? Ready for it? Which way? You guys, you pick today. North or south?
They head south in the bay below the Ocean City Inlet, and after arriving, Captain John gets the rigs ready.
Basic artificial flounder rig. Might throw a little minnow on a couple. Tip them. Simple rig. Bounce it off the bottom and hold on.
And hold on is right. Charlie willingly takes the handoff from his dad and reels in the first fish of the afternoon.
Little guy. Hey. Good way to start the first 2 minutes of fishing.
No need to measure, and back in goes the little guy.
Good job. We are hoping for any flounder over 16 inches, but we'll take any releases too.
But not long after, Gavin has one on the line.
Take your time, keep him in the water. Oh, come on. We'll get him. That's a pretty one. Good job, buddy.
It looked like a keeper, but these guys know losing a fish at the boat comes with the territory. Without missing a beat, Gavin has his line back in the water, and the drift is on.
Go ahead and drop her down, Charlie. All right, everyone check their bait. Make sure we're not grassed up, clean. All right, guys, go for it.
Drifting for flounder can test the patience of even the saltiest of anglers. The sitting and waiting, making sure your rig is on the bottom, and checking your bait, because a fish tends to be a little more enduring than the fisherman.
Guys, let's reel them up and do another drift.
But Gavin and Charlie are painting a picture of patience. No complaining from these guys as they do their best to wait out the flounder. Lucky for them, there's a backup plan.
All right, the water's warm enough now. We've got 68 degrees and the shad and bluefish have showed up in the inlet. It's a lot of action, casting on birds, and we're gonna keep our fingers crossed and try to get a couple flounders and maybe go catch a bluefish or shad or two.
The wait is paid off as Randy has a fish and Charlie is ready.
Nice fish. Good work.
Right.
I don't think we'll have to measure that one.
When that flounder hit, it was just a solid bite. I knew it was on there. It wasn't any nibble.
Back on the drift, and after several passes without any bites, it seems as though the flounder are done for the day.
I feel like the tide's really starting to come in on the bottom, so we got a little cooler water probably down underneath of it. Fish has kind of slacked off here a little bit.
The boys are hanging in as patient as ever. Then Captain John gets a call.
And the birds are working. Let's go. What do you think, boys? Let's do it. That was a yes.
The lines are in and we're heading north, and the familiar skyline of Ocean City approaches.
Try the inlet, and then we'll slide it down by the bridge. We'll give this a shot. Looks like they're working pretty good. We get right in that rip line.
A lot of birds.
What's that mean?
A lot of fish.
All right, guys, get ready.
If Gavin is right, then these guys are going to have a field day. Arriving at the inlet, the aerial assault of the birds is underway, and our 3 fishermen cast away.
Got him on. It's a hickory shad. That didn't take too long. Catch and release these fish. The moratorium on. Oh, you got him? There you go. Perfect. Oh, it's great. Good job. We're throwing them back anyway. Good job. These fish, theoretically, are coming up here to spawn in fresh water. There he is. There he is. Pretty work. Yeah, perfect. Got him on. Another shad. Yeah, buddy. Pretty fish. Good job, Charlie. You guys like this a little better than flounder fishing, don't you? Look at that. Another landslider. Perfect. Oh, got one on.
And the action is so hot, we're not even keeping track of the shad being caught, especially once they arrive at the boat in pairs.
Oh, we truly do have a double. There you go.
The guys decide to move over to the Route 50 bridge, probably just to get a break from the action.
Just got all the birds working the edge of this little rip.
But the respite would be short-lived.
Got him on already. First shad. First shad.
They're fun. I can't feel this up anymore.
Good job, buddy.
So heavy.
Got him on back here. Got a double.
As the sun decides to call it quits, the guys agree as well. It's always a good day when you leave, still catching the fish.
You get really excited. Because you're catching fish constantly almost.
And the one thing better than catching fish is taking a kid fishing.
So that's what it's all about, is letting the boys have a great time out here, enjoy fishing, enjoy catching it. And then also, if it's a fish that they can eat, that's even better.
Get outdoors, Delmarva.
Coming up next on Outdoors Delmarva, there's nothing like a 3D archery range to sharpen the skills. And when it's done to benefit charity, the rewards are even greater.
But first, did you know? Shad spend the majority of their lives at sea and only enter fresh water in the spring to spawn. What is the term that describes this life cycle?
You're watching Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards. Sponsored by Ocean City Tourism, Shorts Marine, Shooter's Choice, Sussex Outdoors, and Aurora Agronomy. Outdoors Delmarva will be right back.
Nice and easy, Charlie. Nice fish. Pretty work.
Did you know? Fish that spend most of their lives in salt water and only enter freshwater to spawn, such as shad and striped bass, are known as anadromous fish.
Did You Know is sponsored by North Bay Marina.
Got them all back here. We got a double.
Thanks for watching Outdoors Delmarva. I'm Captain Willie Dykes. We recently visited a 3D archery range near Seaford, Delaware, and came away impressed at the level of skill displayed by the bowmen. But when we found out that the event was held to raise money to fight a deadly disease, it made the trip even more worthwhile. On a beautiful April day near Seaford, Delaware, some 63 archers gathered at the Nanticoke Sportsman's Club to test their skill on the 3D archery range.
3D archery is shooting foam lifelike animals with a bow and arrow for score. Atta girl. Good shot.
Archers are something of a tight-knit community, and today's participants haven't gathered here merely for sport. In only the second year of the annual Whitetail Outpost 3D Archery Championship, the event has taken hold here on Delmarva, and for a good reason.
My wife suffers from kidney disease, and we're always trying to find ways to raise money for her kidney walk, and we thought a 3D tournament would be a great way for archers to come out and support each other and a good cause.
If you've never witnessed a competition on a 3D range, you're missing something. The archers approach each station as a golfer might address a hole on a challenging course, taking into consideration such factors as distance, wind direction and velocity, and the lay of the land.
Part of the game here is guessing yardage. Knowing your yardage is more than half of the game, really, and then you have to make a good shot on top of that.
The bowmen may use field glasses to help sight their targets, but rangefinders are not allowed here. Conditions today, however, are ideal with bright skies and a gentle breeze. The event is a pleasant one.
It's been beautiful weather, good friends shooting with, so it's been a great time.
There are some 30 stations on this range, with par being a score of 300. A perfect score would be 360.
We have scoring rings. Anything that's foam, from top to the legs, from hind end to the nose, is worth 5 points. Outside ring here, lung area of an animal counts for 8 points. In this shoot, this scoring ring is a heart shot and it's worth 10 points. And then we have the smallest circle, center of the target, will earn 12 and the highest points. And a miss, of course, is 0. Good 10. Took some ground away. It's hard to judge distance there. Good shooting, guys.
The archers are divided into skill categories, with the more advanced sportsmen standing at a red stake about 40 yards from the target. Less experienced archers are given the privilege of shooting from a closer, green-staked position.
Well, my dad tried to get me into it by showing me how to do it at first, and then eventually, I think on Christmas, he got me a bow of my own, and I started doing it by myself. This one, I have a bunch of Matthews hats in my room, and this one's Mission, made by Matthews.
It's been a great day here on the archery range with family and friends, and by raising money for a good cause, there are no losers, only winners.
Coming up next on Outdoors Delmarva, what's in a name? Scorchy gives us a primer on this week's Scorchy's Corner Classic.
Outdoors Delmarva will be right back.
I'm also Scody, Scorty, Scorye, and Scorchy.
You're watching Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards. And now, here's Andrew Tawes.
Most of Delmarva probably knows his name by now, but as you'll see on this week's Scorchy's Corner Classic, there was a time when he had to answer to a lot of names other than Scorchy Tawes.
If John Smith had my name, I'm sure history books would have been all messed up. Very few would have spelled it right. I never realized Scorchy Tawes was so difficult. The name, that is, but the mailbag has convinced me.
If Debbie, our pretty receptionist, didn't know me, I might never get any mail. Who would get it? Well, it might go to Scorchy Tawes, if we had such a person, but Debbie knows that's gotta be me. I must have more aliases than a robber on the run. I answer to Scorchy Tawes, Scorchy Towen, and S. Laws. Ah, but that's only the beginning. This ancient creature who sits under the flying goose is also known as Scotchy Tawes, Scorchy Tawes, Scorchy Paws, Scorchy Paws, and Scorchy Tawes.
Ah, but they're getting closer. From Talls to Tull. And my Tull alias, I answer to Scroochie, Scorchy, just plain Scorchy Tull, as well as Scorchy Tullis.
Then Tawes comes into focus, but whatever happened to Scorchy? Thank the Lord, good old Debbie knows. I'm also Scody, Scorty, Scorye, and Scorchy, as well as Scorhe, Sorchy, Scorthy, Shorsey, Scorky, and would you believe Shorty? No, I'm not Wilt Chamberlain, but Shorty. Now getting real close there, Scorchy with a K, with a T, an I-E, and E-Y. Then there's a guy who made it all very simple.
Scorty, Scody, Scory, Scroachy. Hold on, I'll get it right. Scorchy Tawes, one in our Delmarva land for WBOC News.
Coming up next on Outdoors Delmarva, we just can't get enough of our new ride, the Subaru Forester XT Turbo.
Outdoors Delmarva will be right back. You're watching Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards.
Thanks for watching Outdoors Delmarva. I'm Andrew Tawes. We're back here with our good friends at Gateway Subaru, conveniently located on Route 13 in Delmar, Maryland. Gateway Subaru, higher standards. Well, summer is just around the corner and the weather is almost ideal for all of your outdoor adventures. And what better way to get there than in a brand new Subaru Forester? And ours is so loaded with features that we're still learning all about them. And here to tell us more about it is the Forester expert himself, Aaron Levenka. Aaron, how are you?
Hey, how you doing, Andrew? Good to see you again. This car is going to be a real game changer. With a dual overhead cam turbocharged boxer 4-cylinder, put out 250 horsepower and 258 foot-pounds of torque, really gives you the opportunity to take the rubber right off these tires.
Yeah, Aaron, speaking of these tires, they're certainly more than just eye candy.
That's exactly right, Andrew. These are 18-inch alloy wheels. Hiding behind them, 4-wheel disc brakes, and that world-famous Subaru symmetrical all-wheel drive. And Andrew, as you can see, with 8.7 inches of ground clearance, gives you enough height to get over any obstacles you may encounter out there in the wild. Also, as well, they made a couple of different design changes. You may notice this front pillar here is pushed out 5 inches. Really opens up a lot of interior room. Also, they moved this mirror down onto the door to really open up this panel of glass coming forward, to really increase the driver's visibility out of the car. And Andrew, the exterior is not the only thing that's brand new. The interior has been completely redesigned as well. Why don't you have a seat and I'll show it to you.
Well, Aaron, just sitting inside this new Forester, you can certainly feel the redesign.
The interior is much more spacious, and with the all-new dash, really opens up a lot of options. Another things that you'll find that are going to be different from your older Foresters is this multifunction display. Not only is this going to house the backup camera, but it'll also give you a lot of display while you're driving, a lot of different information. It's going to give you fuel economy, it'll give you range. It'll actually has a really cool little screen that'll show you how that all-wheel drive system's working. It'll also, with the turbo model, it'll show you how much you're accelerating, how much boost the turbo's putting out, as well as the actual engine temperature. So when you're really pushing it to the limit, you know how the car's performing.
I see a switch right down there. What happens when we press that?
Because you're going to engage that X mode, and it really does just transforms this car into a very capable off-road vehicle. And for all this Subaru Forester purists out there, one thing has stayed the same: the massive sunroof.
Nice. Well, I'll tell you, this is one feature here that we can't get enough of.
Yes, Andrew, for the new 14 Forester, they do have a power lift gate, and it's something our customers are raving about as well.
All right, Aaron, thanks so much for the tour of our brand new Forester.
You're very welcome, Andrew. If there's anything we can do, please let us know.
All right. And if you're in the market for that new car to take you on any adventure, one that is safe, reliable, and has symmetrical all-wheel drive, look no farther than our friends at Gateway Subaru on Route 13 in Delmar, Maryland. Gateway Subaru, higher standards. We'll be right back.
Coming up next on Outdoors Delmarva, your latest viewer videos and pictures.
Outdoors Delmarva viewer pictures are sponsored by Wink Sporting Goods. And we'll be right back. You're watching Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards. Sponsored by Ocean City Tourism, Shorts Marine, Shooter's Choice, Sussex Outdoors, and Aurora Agronomy.
It's time now to take a look at some videos and pictures sent in by our own Outdoors Delmarva viewers. Jim Blackwell of Seaford got his first ever turkey, and he couldn't have done it without his 12-year-old guide, Dylan Perdue of Greenwood. Dylan called the 20-pound tom into range from over 200 yards. David Redden snapped this photo of nephew Timothy McCormick of Ocean Pines while they were fishing in Salisbury Park. Timothy is all smiles with this nice-looking bluegill on the line. Well, Willie, that wraps up another week of adventures for us, and I know I certainly enjoyed watching those youngsters reeling all those shad.
That's right, Andrew, and it was neat seeing how those archers keep their skills honed in the off-season and how they give back to the community. So until next time, for my partner Andrew Tawes, I'm Captain Willie Dykes, reminding you to get outdoors, Delmarva.